ADR fam. Hope everybody's doing well. Running a little late tonight. Had to hang out with the family for a few minutes to get some stuff done. So just want to do a quick recap. Like I mentioned yesterday, if you watched the video, this is probably my last recap for the week. Got some activities going on, so I won't be around Thursday or Friday. And so I wanted to go ahead and just run a DR recap for today. And we actually did have a pretty relatively simple DR trade today. So let's talk about it and see what we have going on. All right, so let's go with our range. Let's go 40 to 24-ish and up to 43.53. So 24, 44, 54. So about almost 20 points. All right, so not bad, right? Now, one thing to notice again, like we had yesterday, DR high and IDR high are literally the same line, so not much going on there. No gap in between. And again, like we said yesterday, what that means is that IDR is the body close and DR is the wick close. And so in this case, at 9:30, really, we had a wick in the body that was closed. There was no wick, basically; it was just all body, right? And so they end up being at the same level. Um, Now, interesting today, we had this movement on the setup for DR. So my expectation was that we would have a pretty good, movement down. Okay, so um, and normally when this happens, and you guys can see right in here, we kept testing, on the DR setup. Okay, so we did have a pretty good gap here, and we ended up we had equal lows on those two red candles that came down and formed the DR low side. So my expectation was that at 10:30, 10:35, we would actually go ahead and start confirming because again we had that move all the way down. We didn't get that, all right, and so that's why we wait before we wait for our setup before we actually do anything. We don't try to anticipate the trade before it happens, right? And so in this case, what ended up happening was we went all the way back up here. We went all the way up, actually above the .5 fib, and we actually went into some fair value gaps, bearish fair value gaps that were up here. Sorry for the drawing, but you know what I mean. And so, again, there was some, if you were doing ICT, there was some opportunities up here to take a trade back to the downside, but that's not what we're doing. So what you'll notice is we come all the way back down finally. And this is like getting around lunchtime, right? So it took a while for us to confirm. We did finally confirm right after 12 on that red candle here. And then we retraced. Now, the nice part was we retraced back up above the IDR. So which is, again, that's kind of, I like to see that. I will take trades if it confirm, if it retraces right above DR, but it's always good to have the IDR as a retracement level, because if it does go up and then it comes back down, you have a pretty good feeling it's going to continue to move back down. That's just how I look at it, right? And so we retraced on the screen candle, and then again order goes on the IDR low. Now we did go all the way up here, and so the IDR was around 40. Let's see, what that was, around 42.28. 42.28. And so if you look, my stop loss was right around 42.32. So this green candle, and let's make this a little bigger. Why not? We always do that every day. I know we don't start that way, but you get the idea. All right. So when we finally got to this green candle, I had about 3 ticks where I would have gotten stopped out. Okay, so but I didn't, so which is cool. So now if I had gotten stopped out, and this is why I wanted to point that out, if I had gotten stopped out, my next move would have been right back again on IDR low, right? Because at this point, if I'm up here and I get stopped out, I put my order on IDR, and that would allow price to make that move back down and then pick me up that way. If it continues to go up, no harm, no foul if my order is placed here, right? So that's how I kind of use the ladders to help me. So if I had gotten stopped out, order right back here on IDR low, wait for it to come back down. If it comes back down, great. If it doesn't, it goes this way. That's great too. an order doesn't cost you anything, right? It doesn't cost you anything until it's picked up, right? So that's why I play that. But anyway, so I did not get stopped out here. I had about 3 ticks there. And so the price comes back down. Now, here's something I did today because I was a little, yesterday and the day before I was a little frustrated, right? And so I did something that I normally wouldn't do, and I don't call it spiraling. I call it controlled spiraling, all right? But what I end up doing was, and you guys have heard me say this before, where when I get down to a certain profit target, I'll move my take profit down, right? And so I did that today. I moved my take profit down to not down to 10 points. Um, and then when I got to about 7 points, I went ahead and moved my stop loss down to, I think I moved about 4 points. Okay. And I just left it there. Now, the thing I did, or I said I might have spiraled, was I actually took off my take profit. Sounds weird, right? So I'm always having a 5, 10, 15 point take profit. So I had the stop loss on. Okay. Stop loss is there. But my take profit, I took that off. And so I ended up, right before 2 o'clock, because I had to leave at 3, so right around 2 o'clock. So I actually took a trade off down here. I don't even know what the number was. I didn't even look at it. Because normally I could say, okay, I did 5 points there, 10 points there. I think that one was about, well, let's figure it out. It was somewhere down there. So I was in at 42.28, and that's 18. That's 08. So maybe it was about 20 points on that one. 'Cause I know I got off right down here, and where I got out was right when it actually went green on this candle. So what I ended up doing was I had this candle come down, and then I was like, okay, it's getting close to that 1.0 fib line. And I said, so if it reverses off of that, and you see where it actually closed on that green candle, and so I went ahead and took my trade off at that point. Okay, so something a little different today. And I just said, let me try it, see what happens. Worst case, if price had come back down or come back up, I was already 4 or 5 points in the money here, right? So that's my normal trade anyway. So I said I had a little bit of more flexibility, because what I find that happens is when you're in a trade and I take off 5 points, 10 points, a lot of times that trade will continue to move in your direction. But I'm not savvy enough to figure out where it's going to stop. Right? I know there's ways to estimate that, and I'm sure I do know, but I don't really have the time or patience to do that. And so I normally just have a 5 point, 10 point take profit. So in this case, not having a take profit set, I can let the market kind of do its thing, and then again, protect myself from any downside risk. If it gets above, I think 4 or 5 points, whatever it was up there. Okay, because that was my stop loss on it, on the positive side. All right, so that's it. Now at around 2 o'clock, the other thing that happened is they elected a new Speaker of the House. Yep, that does have impact on the market. So you kind of see what happened right after 2 o'clock. I guess the market liked that, so the price went up about 10. And then it just started doing this thing here, which is kind of what I was what I was expecting was for it to actually do this move here and then start to actually make a move back down, right? Didn't take any trades on it, but that was my expectation. But what actually happened was, you see right here, kind of that, started to consolidate, and actually was almost, I'm not a triangle guy, but if you look at it, almost it did, well, actually it's more of a channel than a triangle, right? So it started doing that kind of move where it just stayed in that channel, and did its thing. So anyway, that's it, guys. Again, hope everybody had a great day. I'll miss you guys next couple of days. I'll be having a lot of fun, but I'll still miss you guys. I can't say I will not trade. um, I trade on my phone all the time, so I'm used to that. I don't have to be in front of a computer to do it, because again, I'm only trading one thing and I'm only trading one way, so I'm not having to jump around and look at a lot of different times and different tickers and all that kind of stuff. I'm looking at the ES, the minis, and I'm taking trades off of mostly a DR strategy. So I may trade next couple of days. If anything pops up, I'll do a screenshot and put it in the community tab just so you guys can see what I did. But again, I seriously doubt I'll have time to do any recaps. Anyway, you guys have a great one. Like we always say, love on your loved ones. You never know when you won't be able to do it again. So take advantage of those opportunities each and every time, please. All right. And I appreciate you guys. And you guys have a good one. We'll see you.